Coming up on Nightside, autopsy results are in from the body that was found in the Colorado River earlier this week. What YCSO investigators are now saying.
Also, 7 TSA workers got sick from fumes at a Minneapolis airport. Police are now investigating the cause. We have the latest on how the airport staff is feeling now.
Plus, President Obama used his weekly address to discuss Ebola and what the federal government is doing to protect Americans. Nightside starts now.
Live from KYMA Studios, this is News 11 Nightside, your #1 source for news in the desert Southwest.
Thank you for joining us. Investigators from the Yuma County Sheriff's Office completed an autopsy results of a body deputies found Wednesday morning in the Colorado River. Deputies, along with Bornstar, recovered a woman's County Sheriff's Office. And as of Friday, it became a historical moment for Arizona, with same-sex couples having the option to get married. News 11 went out to see what this new law means for local businesses.
Yeah, as of 10:30 yesterday morning, marriage licenses can be obtained here in Yuma County. And we spoke to a local destination chapel who is more than ready to help marry those couples. After thousands of weddings at the Lutz Chapel in
right here before.
Lutz Chapel is open 7 days a week, and you can meet any accommodations for your wedding needs. And President Obama used his weekly address to discuss Ebola and what the federal government is doing to protect Americans.
But even as officials and doctors say Ebola is nowhere near as contagious as the flu, the virus has rattled a lot of nerves. Dan Sheneman has more.
Today I want to take a few minutes to speak with you.
On the subway, people aren't walking around with Ebola in your neighborhood.
Dan Sheneman, NBC News.
Well, as far as the cruise ship goes, where a lab worker who was thought to have handled specimens from Thomas Eric Duncan was aboard. It's scheduled to return to Galveston Sunday morning. The Carnival officials say that the person still shows no symptoms, and at this point, no passengers will be screened as they leave the boat.
Police are investigating after a tropical storm watch is up for the Newfoundland coast, and Gonzalo is leaving rip currents in its wake along the U.S. East Coast.
Yeah, the hurricane tore across Bermuda last Friday night, knocking out power to most of the island. And NBC's Dylan Dreyer reports from Bermuda on the damage and the cleanup. Well, Heather, it's another warm, beautiful evening. Is there any rain in our future?
Well, you know what? There's not going to be any rain in the near future, so sorry to break it to you for some folks that love the rain out there. But you know, we are expected to have pretty weather throughout. If you want to take a look at what's going on. Something to look forward to, right?
For sure. I'm looking forward to bringing out the other half of my closet.
Well, that's good. Yes, very true. Well, you know what? Coming up next after the break, the food police warns consumers about the food on supermarket checkout.
Plus, President Obama is working to ensure that our identities are safe when making purchases with our credit cards. How you ask, we'll tell you coming up next.
Says that checkout aisles are contributing to the nation's obesity epidemic.
Well, it looks like Friends will be there for you on Netflix. The most beloved and profitable sitcom in TV history will be coming to the Netflix streaming services on New Year's Day. Well, Netflix struck a deal with Warner Brothers for 236 episodes, or all 10 seasons. It marks the first time Warner Brothers has licensed exclusive subscription video-on-demand rights to Friends, which is still big in syndication.
Oh, yeah? President Obama signed an executive
Without risking your identity, your credit score, or your savings.
Well, coming up later in sports, a football team in Texas has allowed one player to join regardless if he can hear the plays or not. We have that inspirational story coming up next. Well, coming up later in sports, we'll give you another peek at...
Not so fast, Molly. We'll have sports after weather.
Dang it.
Let's get to the weather first, and then we'll give you some sports action later on.
The weather for the sports, right? For playing football outside?
I guess so, yeah. It's great weather right now if you want to play some sports, but you know what? The weather only gets better from here. Thanks to Yuma Rehabilitation Hospital for the beautiful live shot. It's a nice clear night. Tie game score.
I know, just in time for the weekend and barbecuing and all of that. So
yeah, should be nice. Well, what do we got coming up later in sports?
Well, later in sports, we'll give you another peek at one of Friday Night Lights' biggest matchups. Stay with us. Stone crab claws are harvested each season.
Very nice. Well, thanks for joining.